What's going on, people? Today I'll be reviewing Bumblebee in Blu-ray and 4K, and I got that coming up for you next. So, as you might be able to tell, things have been getting a little backed up for me lately. There have been a lot of things to review. I am just getting into Bumblebee now. I apologize, but this is getting into something that I've always wanted to get into, and that is to give you guys a chance to actually comment down below and let me know if you guys have checked this out, what you thought of it. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Just let me know down below. And if you like this video, I do this all the time. So subscribe so I can let you know when all of these videos come out. And getting straight into the movie itself. This is one that I was actually looking forward to, and I regret not being able to actually go to the movie theater to review for you guys. I have not been a fan of the Bayformers universe, and that is largely because of Michael Bay. And I always knew it was him, and really that was the cause of a lot of the problems with the Transformers movies, and this movie proves it. I was right. And a lot of people were, because a lot of people knew it was him. This movie is a lot better than Michael Bay's Transformers films. The Baysieness that he brought, and the crazy swings in tone, the crude humor and juvenile things that he injected into this universe are largely gone. And the Spielbergian, the Steven Spielberg nature of the source material here largely just remains. And I did get a lot of the 80s vibe that they were definitely going with this movie, and I got a lot of E.T. And I just really appreciated them taking a step back, realizing what they did wrong, telling a smaller story, and really letting us get to like its characters. I liked Bumblebee here, He's pretty sweet, he reminds me a lot of E.T. just in the way that they treated him. And I love that 80s tone that this movie has, and Haley Steinfeld is the best actor or actress to enter this franchise. She is really great in this movie, and you just really sympathize with her and her plight. This movie is just overall a great time, and I give it an 8 out of 10. And getting into the video quality, starting off with the Blu-ray. This Blu-ray actually looks really damn good. And I didn't really expect anything different, to be quite honest with you. All of the Transformers Blu-rays look pretty damn stellar, and this one is no different. This actually has just a whole lot of clarity and a lot of detail and fine lines to it. The detail here is really the standout for me on this Blu-ray. There is so much detail that goes into Bumblebee himself. You get a lot of the dirt and the wear and tear on him. And hey, without all of the overuse of just the way that Michael Bay wanted the Transformers to look in his films, you can actually tell that this is actually supposed to be Bumblebee, and you can get a whole lot more detail in him, and you can see a lot more of the gears that are going on inside Bumblebee. He's just better in every case here. Trust me. And a lot of the 80s feel and the vibe actually went into the whole color palette in this movie, and that is excellent as well. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. This is just a really good looking Blu-ray. And when you're getting into the 4K copy here, this was actually given a 2K digital intermediate, so this is an upscale to 4K, but don't worry folks, because this is also given Dolby Vision support, and the clarity and the overall detail here have been given a substantial bump up, and it is just the kind of bump up that you would expect from Blu-ray to 4K. You can see individual dirt marks that are on Bumblebee. And when you see Cybertron, there is just so much detail in that world. I just want a whole movie put there. I hope that's what they're doing with the next one. Give it to me now. And the overall depth of field is largely stepped up here from the Blu-ray, which is always awesome. And then when you're talking about HDR and Dolby Vision, it is so damn good here. The yellows are just so punchy. Cybertron is amazing, and right there is reference quality material when you're talking about Cybertron. It is just awesome. But unfortunately, the whole disc doesn't have that level of HDR, but those portions are just awesome. And you know, when you get into the beaches, when you have the sun beating down on the characters' faces, you can see that harsh lighting coming through a lot more in HDR. This is just a pretty damn good HDR and Dolby Vision showcase. I am going to give this a 9 out of 10. And getting into the audio quality, whether you buy this on Blu-ray or 4K, you do get the Dolby Atmos experience. I love it when studios do that, and they have here. This Dolby Atmos track is pretty damn good. It has a level of scope that you would expect from a Transformers movie, you know? Specifically with bass response here. Bass response is awesome. When you're getting into Bumblebee and when he's fighting the Decepticons, you know, they're a lot bigger than him. Bumblebee is a small Transformer, and you get that scope in the bass response with each character, and that is something that I was definitely looking for, and they brought it to the table here. I love the score of this movie, and it is expertly recreated here. Height speaker use is limited, and that is unfortunate, but specifically in Cybertron, it is in heavy use, and that is always awesome. This is a very full and very expansive field of sound that circumferences the entire room, so that is always great. And speaker separation is top notch. I am going to give this a 9 out of 10. I so wanted to give this a 10 out of 10, but unfortunately, because of the height speaker use, I expected more, but it just wasn't there. I'm going to give it a 9. This is still great. Pick it up. And when you're getting into the digital copy here, this is an iTunes digital copy. So you can redeem the iTunes code to get the 4K copy of this film on iTunes. And when you're getting into the special features, all of them are on the Blu-ray disc. And so what you have there is a 5-part featurette that really goes into the making of the movie. It lasts for about a little over a half an hour long. I think it's about 40 minutes. And then you get another featurette that goes into Sector 7 and all that kind of stuff. There are actually quite a bit of deleted scenes here. There are about 20 minutes of them. So you know, this movie could have been a lot longer. And then you get a separate featurette about bringing Bumblebee to the big screen. Look, this is a decent amount of special features here, but none of them are on the 4K disc. I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. This could have been a little more, but I am grateful for what we did get here. And getting into my last looks at Bumblebee. Look, This movie has a lot of heart to it that those Michael Bay Transformer films did not have. And even if they tried to have them, there was so much other stuff cram-packed into those movies that didn't need to be there, that they largely got in the way, and this movie doesn't have that. This movie really stays grounded and always gives you the outlook of the characters and where the characters are at individual points in this movie. I love the fact that it takes place in the 80s and it has that nostalgia for people. I love the fact that this actually feels like E.T., but it's a cooler E.T. because you get it with Transformers, and I just really went with a lot of the stuff in this movie. And yeah, I just had a really good time with it. And when you're talking about the Blu-ray or the 4K, they both get the same score of a 32 out of 40. Look, this is what you guys have, at least what I have wanted from a Transformers movie for the most part. And if you guys enjoyed this movie when it was in theaters, or if you were, interested in seeing it, you can pick this up because it has great video and audio here. You will not be disappointed. And coming up next, I do have to get into Glass. I just finished watching that today, right before recording. I will be recording that review right after this review, so you can expect that really soon. Thank you for watching my videos, people. You guys are awesome. I don't even need to say it because you know it. And I will see all of you next time.